the audio too late. I'm not staying up to put it up tonight, but I'll get it up tomorrow. All right, final battle predictions. Let's see if I can retain the KOP's prediction, the KOP predictions title going into 2023, or will Paul take it off me? This is gonna be an interesting one. This is an interesting set of 7 matches. Let's start off with the trios championships. Dalton Castle and the boys versus the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage.
All right, so I'll be the first to admit I am flying dark through 90% of my predictions because I do not know a whole lot of newer ROH stuff. I went with Dalton Castle and the boys for 3 points.
All right, Shep. I mean, I know you don't have to put points. You can if you want, but
yeah, I went Gates of Agony for 3.
Well, I went Gates of Agony and Brian Cage for 7.
Wow,
you like him?
I think yes, I do, and I think they're getting. He's building them for a big push.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right, differing out of the gate here. I like it. Let's keep it with tag teams. Swerve and Our Glory versus the Shane Taylor Productions.
I went with the Shane Taylor Productions for 4.
Okay.
I see this as it would make no sense to have Swerve and Our Glory start falling apart on AEW, then bring them to ROH and have them win.
I don't see them burying 2 really good stars, so I went with Swerve and Our Glory for 1.
All right.
I agreed with Paul for his reasoning. I went with Shane Taylor Productions for 2. So.
Okay.
And Paul, can you tell me how many points you put on Dalton Castle and the boys again?
3.
3. Okay.
I went 3 for the trios.
All right, I got it. I wrote down who you had, but I forgot to write down the points. So, all right, let's go. Women's title: Mercedes Martinez against Athena.
All right, I have reasoning, so you got to bear with me. I went with Athena. Now, she deserves a belt, don't get me wrong, but I think this is the right time. The attitude that they've brought in, they've let her get a little meaner, a little darker. I think that's the Athena that needs to win this title. If you would have brought the Athena that was here when she came into AEW, I would have gone with Mercedes hands down. But this Athena can win it, and I went with 6.
Oh.
Yep.
Martinez for 1.
Wow. I was not expecting that from you, Shep. I figured you were all Athena.
I was until Tony kept saying he's not going to promote AEW talent. And I feel like Athena is one of the top. I know they haven't pushed her, but athletically, in-ring performers, there's not a lot of girls that can do what she does. So I feel like Tony's got to keep her for Rampage and Dynamite than ROH. So that was the only reason that made me switch to that. Was his comment was, I'm not pushing ROH talent because I'm getting too much criticism. So
this was a tricky one, and points you both brought up, Paul, and that Athena's character change kind of seems like the timing could be right there. But also, Mercedes is just coming off of injury. I mean, most of her title run, she's been injured, so would they really take it off of her? But I'm going Athena for 5. I like the character change, but I think Shep made a good point too. So now I'm kind of second guessing myself, but sticking with my gut.
Does this darn belt always come down to the women's match?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're pretty close. So, I mean, if it comes down to 1 point.
Okay.
I mean, if Dalton Castle and the boys take home the victory, I'm just going to say, give me my belt.
We're not done with picks yet, so don't
give me my belt.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Samoa Joe and Juice Robinson for the TV title.
All right. I went Samoa Joe for 7.
Samoa Joe for 7.
I went with Joe for 6, so we're all right around there. Maybe Wardlow interferes and costs him, though. Maybe.
Not on an ROH.
Juice is signed. Juice is signed. So.
Juice is signed to AEW, not ROH.
Yeah.
Well, we've never got an ROH graphic, so we don't know who's.
It's a good point.
I mean, they could, All right, Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia for the 100th and last time for the Pure Championship.
I went Yuta for 2 points. If Moxley's promo rings true, it's time for the change. But at the same time, Moxley cut a promo that said they're going to win. My brain went old school and went, I don't know, maybe I should go with Garcia. So that's why the points are so low.
I went Garcia with 6. He's my next best one.
I went with Danny Garcia for 4.
All right.
It was a tough one, though. Tough one to put points
I'm
on
either going to win this by a landslide or I'm going to lose it terribly.
You see that every time we do predictions.
And I lose it terribly. Or I win by a landslide.
The worst thing that happened to you, Paul, was you got a perfect card at Revolution back
Yeah.
in February. Ever since then, the belt's been coming off you. So.
Well, because I've gone against my gut feeling. And so I did not do this. I looked at the card and said, that's who's going to win. And that's what I went with because that's what I did last year or earlier this year.
Here's a tough one. We didn't get a lot of time to think about it. FTR, Briscoes, ROH Tag Team titles, double dog collar match.
FTR 5. I think we're still building them to have all the belts at once.
Man, I don't know. If they announce their own streaming deal or television deal and separate themselves from AEW, you're going to have to have the tag titles. So I went Briscoes. I got 2 left, Tanner, right?
Yeah, you got 2 matches left.
I got number 2, my 2 points though, right? I got 2 down.
Yes, you do. Yep.
Yeah, I got Briscoes for 2 points.
He wrote the winners and forgot to write the points, so he's kind of doing this on the fly.
Yeah. You're right. I am.
I got the Briscoes for 1.
Okay.
And my reasoning is, I think AEW is a smart fan base. ROH fans are smart. There's been a lot out there about Tony not being able to have the Briscoes on television. It tells me something's been done and in the works, and it's gonna be the swerve here, and Briscoes win because FTR's went over both times, right? In their matches this year.
Yes.
Because the last one was 2 out of 3 falls. And they won 2 out of 3, and then they won back in April. So,
yeah,
are they really gonna have the Briscoes lose 3 times in 1 year? FTR's contracts are up in April.
Not if they're committed to having a separated ROH show.
Because if FTR's contracts are up in April and they're not going to re-sign, this might be a good time to get the ROH titles off of them. They might lose the AAA titles, or they'll lose the New Japan titles at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know about AAA. Don't really care about them. And then they don't win the AEW ones. So,
well, and the big thing that came out is they said that, look, we might take some time off from the big companies,
right,
and just kill some independents. I mean, if they've been smart with their money, I'm sure they're going to drag in a premium for independent shows. But if they've been smart with their money and want to pick and choose where they work once or twice a month for independents for top dollar, good for them.
Yep. Nope.
I don't have a whole lot of time here, so I'm just going to take my shot. FTR, if you ever want to wrestle in Indiana, I know a little place in Warsaw called the CCAC for the Functified Wrestling Federation. Hit us up. We'll book you.
Especially for a show in June 18th.
Yes, that'll be in Rochester.
I want to see Paul take a big rig.
You know what? I would take the big rig.
And
just to say I did it.
I want to see take some chops from Dax.
Yeah, the chops last year from the old FTW champ were a little weak. Cost me $20.
I want him to lay him in like he did to Danielson last week. When
FWF, not FTW.
FTW.
Jeez, getting it confused. I wish it was the FTW. Jeez.
Yeah, where is that guy? Where's Hook? We never see him on TV anymore.
He
Yeah,
got
it's
a
been a waste.
girlfriend.
Who's Hook?
He got a girlfriend, and Taz is pissed.
That takes precedence. So,
Hook who?
ROH Championship: Jericho Claudio. If Claudio loses, he has to become part of the JAS.
I went Claudio with one. I don't see him joining the JAS. If it was closer to the end of his contract, maybe, but I think he's still got enough time left on there. And again, he's one of those that they could move from AEW to strictly be on ROH. And as part of the JAS, he can't do that.
Yeah, he just joined a Forbidden Doors. He's got a while on his contract.
2 or 3 years is what he signed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went with Jericho for 3. I got 3 left, right?
No, you used the 3 on.
What do I got left?
I'm trying to figure that out here.
I think you've got 4.
And yeah, I thought 3, but I think you're right, Paul.
Yeah, because
It's 4.
Yeah, you got 4.
All right, Jericho for 4.
I got Jericho for 3 because earlier today I'm like, there's no way that Claudio's joining the JS. Then I'm like, oh, this could be total old school wrestling booking. They have Jericho win, Claudio joins the JS for like a couple weeks and then gets out of it somehow. And I think if they really have a deal or close to a deal, Jericho's a good person to launch your company, just like he was with AEW. So I don't know. This could be a landslide victory for Paul. So it could be.
No. Tanner quit being so generous.
Could be.
If this somehow ends up being the belt coming back to Fulton County, Tanner, you don't get a rematch in March. It'll be Shep and I.
Fair enough.
Hey, whoa. I get a rematch in January at Wrestle Kingdom.
I'll give you that rematch if I win.
Ooh.